In this guide, we are going to learn about base layers. Now we will be discussing base layers. The base layer immediately under the surface layer, and so is subjected to heavy loading. The thickness of base layer depends upon the characteristics of the underlying sub-base and subgrade layers. The load-bearing capacity of the subgrade layer should be carried out to design the base layer. California bearing ratio report should be generated from the test results, and further design of base layer should be made. Functions of base layer. The primary function of soling is to distribute the load over a soft subgrade. It is done in such a way that there will be no sinking of the road crust into subgrade. There are three commonly used types of base layers: soling, WBM that is water-based macadam, and WMM that is wet mix macadam. Base course, soling. Stones are hand-packed, firmly set, in layers with maximum thickness of 230 mm when compacted. Tolerance of 25 mm is allowable. Soling should be done on leveled and compacted. All utility lines should be in place before soling work begins. Voids in the rubble soling needs to be filled properly with 63 to 90 mm stone metals, must be rolled properly after void filling. All voids to be squeezed with smaller stones, well driven in, to tightly packed, and completely filled with small sand or quarry dust. Rubble soling precautions. Stone's broadest side should be downward, and greatest length across the road. Large stones should be placed at edges, or at center. Base course, WBM, and WMM. The materials used in base course are WMM that is wet mix macadam, or WBM that is water-bound macadam. The selected mix for WMM is prepared in a suitable mixing plant, with adequate proportion of water. The important part is that the mix is properly graded, to get a dense mix. For WBM, the stones are spread on site, then the filler material is laid followed by adequate water spraying. It will then be compacted by the rollers. Construction of water-bound macadam base. Step 1 is spreading. The material used in WBM construction consists of coarse aggregates, sized 32 mm to 90 mm. The foundation for receiving the new layer of WBM may be either the subgrade, sub-base, or base layer. The coarse aggregates are spread uniformly, usually in 115 mm thickness layers, in proper profile. For heavy traffic, 2 layers of 75 mm each should be used. Templates should be marked every 6 to 8 meters apart. Templates should be of depth equal to the unrolled thickness of the metal layer. They are then spread uniformly by raking. Step 2. Voids can be filled with screening materials such as sand, gravel, or yellow earth, and consolidated properly in every layer. Sprinkle water, to ensure all the smaller aggregates settle, tightly filling the voids. The final step is compaction. Layers then compacted by roller of 6 to 8 ton capacity. Capacity depends upon size and hardness of metal. Binding material is applied at a uniform and slow rate to get an even surface. Then the layer is allowed to dry overnight. Ensure grading requirements are followed. Construction of wet mix macadam base. Then it is transported to the site and is spread using self-propelled type paver finisher machine to the required thickness, grade, and cross slope. The WMM layer is compacted using a vibratory roller. No traffic shall be allowed before a bituminous surface course is constructed. Selection of stone metal. Stones should be able to resist abrasion, weathering, and crushing. Their shape should be such that they have good interlocking properties. Angular shaped stones provide better interlocking. Avoid flaky aggregates. Field test. Use a penknife to scratch the surface. If there is a deep scar, stone is too soft to be used. Brittleness. Use a 250-gram hammer. If the stone breaks easily, it is too brittle. Appearance. Stone should be uniform in color and should not have any green, reddish, or yellowish tinge. Size of metal. Stones are available in following sizes: 63 mm to 90 mm, 40 mm to 63 mm, 20 mm to 50 mm,